Let's start. Okay, Bissy Alimi, British Nigerian gay rights activist, public speaker, blog writer, and HIV/LGBT advocate who gained international attention when he became the first Nigerian to come out on television. Lance Bass, American singer, actor, and producer. Ortiza Cabrera Foster, multidisciplinary artist and politician from Catalonia, who has worked as a writer and art curator. Brandy Carlisle, an American singer, songwriter, and producer. Bello Cipriani, American writer, publisher, and entrepreneur in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Naoise Dolan, Irish novelist. Nathan Fawn, Canadian chef, food stylist, media personality, and activist. Catherine Gillespie Sells, psychotherapist, writer, disability rights campaigner, and LGBT rights campaigner from the United Kingdom. Andrew Gorza, disability awareness consultant and activist based in Toronto who focuses on the intersections of disability and sexuality. Talia Hibbert, British romance novelist. Rosie Jones, British comedian, writer, and actress. Firdaus Kenga, born in Mumbai, 1960 to a Parsi family, is an Indian writer, journalist, and actor who currently lives in London. Maya Babe, American cartoonist and author, who wrote the memoir Genderqueer, a memoir, 2019. R.B. Lamberg, author, poet, and editor of speculative fiction. Robert Levithan, American gay writer and HIV/AIDS activist. Abby McEnany, American writer, comedian, and actress known for the television series Work in Progress. Casey McQuiston, an American author of romance novels in the new adult fiction genre, best known for their New York Times best-selling debut novel Red, White, and Royal Blue, in which the son of America's first female president falls in love with a prince of England, and sophomore book One Last Stop. Maya Mingus, American writer, educator, and community organizer who focuses on issues of disability justice. Ryan O'Connell, American writer, actor, director, comedian, LGBTQ activist, and disability advocate. Connie Penzolino, American writer and activist for disability rights and LGBTQ rights. Alana Pierce, Australian video game writer and former journalist. Kenny Popora, American author, speaker, and LGBTQ plus advocate. Devin Price, American social psychologist, blogger, and author focusing on autism. Pete Price, British radio presenter best known for his work in Liverpool. Cheryl Rainfield, Canadian novelist, short story writer, and TikToker. Sonora Reyes, young adult fiction. Mars Walker, American actor, singer, dancer, choreographer, writer, collaborative artist, musician, filmmaker, and creator. AJ Sass, an American author of children's and young adult fiction, best known for his middle grade contemporary novel Anna on the Edge and his Time op-ed discussing transgender and non-binary character representation in youth literature. Brandy Solis, American author, historian, and television host. Dana Smith, American poet, writer, and performer from St. Paul, Minnesota. Reese Fear, American journalist and podcast host, best known for their TikTok account Under the Desk News. Chuck Tingle, pseudonymous author primarily of niche gay erotica. Clayton Valley, American prominent deaf linguist and American Sign Language ASL poet whose work helped further to legitimize ASL and introduce people to the richness of American Sign Language literature. Kelly Vincent, Australian playwright, actress, and former politician. Nick Walker, scholar. Spencer West, American motivational speaker and disability advocate. Andrew Joseph White, American young adult fiction author. Charlotte Sullivan Wald, American author of children's books. Mark Van Wolfmore, prolific American author of speculative fiction short stories, active in the field since 2007. M. Remy Yogor, I don't know how to say the last name. American academic in the fields of rhetoric and writing studies, digital studies, queer rhetoric, disability studies, and theories of mind. Okay. Tom Engelberger, American children's writer, best known for the Origami Yoda series. Maxwell Adams. American animator, screenwriter, storyboard artist, and voice actor. Daunt G. Badenhorst, South African quiz show champion, journalist, and author. Blind Boy Boat Club. Irish satirist, musician, podcaster, author, and TV presenter. Henry Bond. English writer, photographer, and visual artist. Fawn Brady. Scottish comedian, podcaster, and writer. Savannah Brown. American British poet and author. Selena K. Moore. Okay. Trans poet and activist based in Wales. Agnes Callard. American philosopher and an associate professor of philosophy at the University of Chicago. Robert Chapman, philosopher. Michelle Dawson. Canadian autism researcher who was diagnosed with autism in 1993 to 1994. Cici Delgado, Bolivian artist who writes and draws comics. Melanie Fazzi. French novelist and translator specializing in fantasy fiction. Danilo Gentili. Brazilian comedian, television host, writer, cartoonist, and businessman. Yonason Gershom. American rabbi and writer who was ordained in the Jewish renewal movement during the 1980s and is now a follower of Breslov Hasidism. Murnike Giwa Anaiwu, an American educator, author, and autism and HIV advocate. Tyler Knott Gregson. poet, author, essayist, and professional photographer based in Helena, Montana. John R. Hall, author Chloe Hayden. Australian actress, author, podcast host, social media personality, and an activist in the disability rights movement. Mrs. Hinch. British influencer whose Instagram account features tips for home cleaning. Esme Louise James. British-born Australian sex historian, author, and journalist. Oh, and TikToker user known for kinky history, an online educational video and podcast series about the history of human sexuality, as well as a non-fiction book of the same name released in Australia and New Zealand in October 2023. Jason Paul Laksamana, Filipino filmmaker and writer. Victoria Lloyd Barlow, British writer whose debut novel, All the Little Bird Hearts, was longlisted for the 2023 Booker Prize. Dylan Matthews, American journalist. Thomas A. McKean, American autistic author and lecturer. Sofia Mendonca, Brazilian author. Josephine Moon, Australian author based in Coolvoy, Queensland. A.R. Mullen, an American author of novels and short stories whose works of fiction have appeared in various magazines and anthologies. Jerry and Mary Newport, authors, advocates, and public speakers who have been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which is no longer used or no longer diagnosable, and whose lives became the basis for the 2005 film Mozart and the Whale. Marieke Nijkamp, Dutch New York Times best-selling author of novels for young adults. David Olivier, Anglo-French anti-speciesist activist, writer, and philosopher. Tim Page, music critic. Carolina Diaz Pimentel, Peruvian journalist and mental health activist. Stephanie Priesner, Irish writer, actress, script supervisor, and columnist. Nathan Rabin, American film and music critic. Shais Rashan, African American Orthodox rabbi, activist, and writer. Don Shakers, American science fiction writer and fan who lived in Maryland and wrote several novels and edited a short story collection. Khalil Senghor, I am definitely pronouncing names wrong. Turkish geologist Stephen Shaw, Professor Judy Singer, Australian sociologist known for popularizing the term neurodiversity, Jack Stentz, American writer and producer of film and television, journalist, novelist, and teacher, best known for his work on Marvel properties with former writing partner Ashley Edward Miller, Sarah Stupp, American writer and advocate, Susanna Tamaro, Italian novelist and film director, Susan Vaught, American author and neuropsychologist, Greg Wallace, English broadcaster, entrepreneur, and writer, Leanne Holiday Willie, American writer, researcher, and advocate for people with Asperger's syndrome, which again is no longer diagnosable. Abu Jarud Al-Hamdani, never mind, Jacob Emin, college professor, civil engineer, and a general in the Union Army during the American Civil War, Louis Antoine, French mathematician, Chieko Asakawa, Japanese computer scientist known for work at IBM Research Tokyo in accessibility, David Blunkett, never mind, Josephine Boulet, French organist, composer, and professor, Rudolf Braun, Austrian pianist and composer who was born congenitally blind. William Henry Charsley, English academic, Master of Charsley's Hall, Oxford from 1862 to 1891. Arnold Cook, Australian academic and senior economics lecturer at the University of Western Australia. Richard O. Cohen, historian of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a former professor in the Church History Department of Brigham Young University. Rupert Cross, English legal scholar. Jibril Issa Disso, Nigerian academic from Kano State. Peter Dodge, American meteorologist and noted expert on radar technology. William A. Hadley, American educator, academic administrator, and advocate for the blind. Ed Haley, professional American musician and composer, best known for his fiddle playing. Of course, there's a lot. Ross Ashcroft, British filmmaker, broadcaster, and entrepreneur. Benet. New Zealand singer and songwriter from Auckland. Chaz Bono. American writer, musician, and actor. Keely Catwells, British entrepreneur, disability rights advocate, and writer. Cheryl Cohen Green, American sexual surrogate partner, speaker, and author. Richard Ford, American novelist and short story author. Whoopi Goldberg, American actor, comedian, author, and television personality. Gabriela Bremer, Mexican writer and activist for people with disabilities. Lara Calleja, Maltese novelist and playwright. Miguel de Cervantes, Spanish writer widely regarded as the greatest writer in the Spanish language and one of the world's preeminent novelists. Lin Yuqi, author and social activist. Hirotada Otataki, Japanese writer from Tokyo who has written in the memoir, fiction, and sports journalism genres. Akiko Sugimoto, Japanese novelist. John Woo, Hong Kong film director known as a highly influential figure in the action film genre. That's it, guys. Bye.